Where's Regan?
In here with us.
Forget everything you thought you knew about horror, because The Exorcist shattered all the rules and left audiences trembling. From cursed sets to real-life exorcisms, this is the untold story of a movie that didn't just scare us, it changed us. Ready to dive into the abyss? Let's go. So, 1973 rolled around and bam, The Exorcist drops like a bomb. Forget about witches flying on broomsticks or zombies munching on brains. This movie takes us straight into a regular home where a little girl named Regan starts acting all kinds of crazy. William Friedkin, the director, and William Peter Blatty, the writer, weren't messing around. They took horror to a place it had never been before. We're talking about a kid getting possessed and two priests going toe-to-toe with the devil himself. No joke, people were passing out in the theaters. It was that intense. And get this, the story was inspired by a real-life exorcism from 1949. The boy involved underwent around 30 exorcisms and had no recollection of his possession afterward. And the movie didn't just scare. It made over $441 million worldwide and snagged itself 2 Oscars. But it wasn't just about the money or the awards. The film got under our skin and stayed there. It made us question the battle between good and evil, right in the middle of Anytown, USA. And let's not forget, Ellen Burstyn, who played Regan's mom, actually injured her spine during filming. The screams you hear, those are real. So why does The Exorcist still matter? Because it didn't just change the game, it became the game. It's a story so gripping, so downright terrifying, that we're still talking about it nearly 50 years later. And let's be real, who can forget the line, "The power of Christ compels you"? Not me, that's for sure. Oh, and did you know that Mercedes McCambridge, who voiced the demon, went to extreme lengths like chain smoking and eating raw eggs to get that voice just right? Let's jump to 1977. The Exorcist 2: The Heretic rolls out, and man, it's a wild ride. This sequel dives deep. We're talking about the backstory of Pazuzu, the demon that messed with Regan. But here's the kicker, it kinda missed the mark. Don't get me wrong, it tried to go big. We get to see more of Regan and even some demonology deep dives. But let's be real, it didn't quite capture that raw terror we felt in the first movie. And speaking of Regan, actress Linda Blair had to have 24/7 bodyguards for nearly 6 months due to death threats. Critics and fans were split. Some thought it added new layers to the story, while others felt it strayed too far from what made the original a classic. So The Exorcist 2 was a swing and a miss for some, but hey, it still added some spice to the franchise. Say goodbye to exorcisms and hello to a castle that's now an insane asylum. Welcome to 1980's The Ninth Configuration. This one's the oddball of the family, no doubt. Instead of demons and priests, we're diving headfirst into the human mind. It's like a psychological maze in there, and this movie takes us through every twist and turn. But don't think it's all just mind games. The Ninth Configuration digs deep into some heavy stuff like faith and what it means to be sane. So while it might not give you the chills like the original, The Ninth Configuration makes you think. And sometimes, that's even scarier, right? What are your thoughts? A worthy detour or a miss? Now we're jumping a whole decade to 1990, and guess what? The Exorcist is back in town with its 3rd installment, The Exorcist 3. Boom! Did that jump scare get you? Yeah, me too. This one takes us back to the good old days of demonic showdowns. But wait, there's a twist. We've got new faces and, drumroll please, a serial killer. That's right, Paul Bateson, a real-life suspected serial killer, makes an appearance. Meet the Gemini Killer, the new bad guy who's making life miserable for everyone. This isn't just a rehash, it's like the original but with extra layers of creepy. Alright, let's rewind the tape a bit. Ever wondered how Father Merrin got tangled up with all this demonic stuff? Well, you're in luck because they made not 1 but 2 prequels to spill the tea. So we've got Exorcist the Beginning and Dominion, both diving into Merrin's early days in Africa. Yeah, they really wanted to make sure we got the point. These movies aim to give us the 411 on the evil we first met way back in '73. They're the origin story we didn't know we needed. Feeling enlightened or just confused? Either way, the story's not over yet. On to the next. Now what happens when you take a classic and give it the binge-worthy treatment? You get the Exorcist TV series, that's what. Did you catch that? Regan's back, and she's not the only one. This series pulls the story into our world, right here, right now. We're talking new faces, new scares, and a whole lot of episodes to keep you up at night. It's like the Exorcist universe just got a major upgrade. And speaking of upgrades, the room where Reagan was possessed was actually refrigerated to below freezing to catch the actor's breath on camera. The future of The Exorcist is here, and it's called The Exorcist Believer. Yep, you heard that right. We're getting a whole new trilogy, and it's kicking off with a bang. Directed by David Gordon Green and starring big names like Ann Dowd and Ellen Burstyn, this film is setting the bar high. I mean, come on, with a lineup like that, how could it not? The story? Oh, it's a doozy. We've got a guy who's up against some serious evil, and he's looking for help from someone who's been down this road before. It's like a passing of the torch, but with way more screaming. Now, what's really got people buzzing is how this new trilogy plans to shake things up. It's not just a reboot or a sequel, it's a reimagining. They're going for a fresh angle while still giving a nod to the original terror that made us all fans in the first place. And let's not forget, this is just the first of 3 new movies. That means we're in for a long, terrifying ride, and honestly, I can't wait to see where it takes us. With a release date set for October 6th, 2023, the countdown is on. The legacy of The Exorcist is a tough act to follow, but if anyone can pull it off, it's this team. And remember, the book that inspired the original movie was a flop until the author appeared on a late-night show and turned it into a bestseller. And that, my friends, is the future. Are you excited? Because I sure am. Let's see what new horrors await us.